have just tried to freaking start this video like 10 times, and like things keep happening. My phone keeps falling down. I keep cussing too much. I got yelled at the other day for cussing too much in my YouTube videos, so I'm gonna stop cussing so much. So yeah, so today's video is going to be about my first love. And before we get started, no, I'm not dying. There's a bruise on my freaking head because I bent down because I dropped a folder on the ground for choir, and I hit my head and I cried through the whole entire class. So insert that clip here. In choir, and I have a bump on my head.
Yeah.
And it really hurts.
Either way, yeah.
Here's me crying because it really hurt. And I just turned off my camera, and I really hope I don't get shit for it.
How many of you already had it memorized?
No. Onyx, you want to say hi? Say, we're going on YouTube. Yeah. Hi, sweetie. My ex-boyfriend, if you haven't watched the These Boys Go Bonkers video, you should watch it so that you know who the frick Chester is, which you don't actually have to watch it to know who Chester is, because I'm gonna say that Chester is my ex-boyfriend, but I really just want the clout. So like, if you will please watch the videos, please do it, because I want to get paid from YouTube eventually, and I'm fucking broke. So anyways, oh my god, I'm struggling. Let's put some clothes on first, and then I will speak. Like, quick, if you're gonna straighten your hair and you're gonna like shower the next day but not get your hair wet, I would highly suggest using, like, if you don't have like the freaking hair things from the Dollar Tree, literally use a plastic bat, put it over your head. It works just as good, and you don't have to pay money for it. You just have to, like, you know, get it from the grocery store or something. Onyx, move! Move! I swear to God, my neighbors probably think I'm crazy, and you know what? They're right. Shin, this is my bed. This is my room. I really don't want you to see it like that, even though you literally just did, but I'm gonna snap my fingers, and the next moment you see it, this whole bed's gonna be made, and then we're really gonna get into the video, I promise. Boom. So the story starts. I'm sorry, I have to get my speaker voice on. Doesn't that kind of sound like Donald Trump? Like, you know, like Tana Mojo, she does this like voice, and it sounds like Donald Trump. Also, what do y'all think about her freaking apology video? Honestly, I don't know why YouTubers like apologize, because it's just like they're just doing it to like please other people, and like it's so obvious. But like, Tana Mojo, no tea, no shade, I still want you at my 17th birthday, and I want to get drunk with you. What was I talking about? Story about my ex-boyfriend. So let me give you some bases. Back to the Donald Trump voice. Hi, I'm orange. And I'm in the 8th grade, and my hair is Dora bangs. Kid you not. I will try to find a photo, and I'll try to insert it into here. Dora bangs, salmon freaking hair. I kid you not, my hair was the color of salmon. At Skate City, Chester. And Chester, I thought Chester was gay. No lie, I thought he was gay. No tea, no shade. Chester, I know you probably watch my videos, and I'm sorry. We're friends now, by the way, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a second. It's fine. So, yeah, I met Chester in the 8th grade, and he was in 9th grade. And I was like, oh, this is cool. He's, like, in high school, and, like, you know, imagine that. Forgetting my like train of thought, but like it's fine. I was gonna do like a get ready with me for this video, but I was just like, do I even want to wear makeup? No, bitch, I don't, because I wore some. Let me tell you that I would literally stalk Chester, and I don't mean like go to his house or anything, like not actually stalk him, okay? Like, I'm not a stalker, except I stalked Tana Mojo, but like that's beside the point. Anyways, so oh my god, my hair, I can't do it. I don't know what to do about it. I don't care. I don't even care. Nobody freaking cares, Sakura. So basically, me and Chester met at Skate City, and I remember like stalking him, making sure that he was there every Friday that I went. And I remember I would go like every single Friday. That was like a thing in middle school. It was like, if you went to Skate City every Friday, you were the shit. Like, dead ass. If you don't know what Skate City is, you live under a rock. Skate City is basically, you skate on a skating rink, and there's a DJ, and you can play like games. There was this one where it was like the snowball, and you like held hands with someone on the opposite side, and it was like girl on this side, guy on the other side, etc. There's like an arcade, there's food there, there's Slurpees. They have all nights, and the all nights are really fun, but etc, etc, besides the point. So yes, that's Gay City for you. And I remember always looking for him every single Friday. And like, I remember not seeing him for a little bit. And so I texted him and I was like, hey, are you still alive? And he was like, sup, bro? And like, we were just like friends at that time, but he always liked me. Like one time we were at Skate City and my friend was with me, and my friend was actually super into him. This was when I thought he was gay. And he was actually flirting with me the whole time, and sorry friend. Actually not really, because you never responded to me when you were in town, and you should have at least told me that you could not hang out. That's the tea, girl. And sorry about that, guys. Had to expose a little bitch. Anyways, Onyx, shut up! I hate him. So fast forward like probably a few months, and I am dating this girl, and her name is Alex. That's what I'm gonna name her. Her name isn't actually Alex, but I'm not gonna tell you her real name, obviously, because I respect people's freaking privacy. So me and Alex had been talking for a little bit, and we actually met at church. So me and Alex decided that we were gonna make it official, and we were gonna make it official at, drumroll, Skate City. So we went to Skate City, and the first person that I see when I walk in, not really, but like for the dramatics, I see Chester. And Chester is looking at me really, really weird, because I'm like holding hands with this other girl, and he's super into me at this time. You know, I get asked out, blah, 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 and Alex goes on the skating rink with my friend, Shay. We're gonna name her Shay. That's a little weird because yeah, whatever. So he's on the skating rink with Shay, and I'm like, okay. And so then Chester comes up to me and is like talking to me and low-key flirting with me, but I was like a little 8th grader, like I didn't know shit. And later on I actually found out that he got jumped because he was flirting with me while I was with another girl. And he actually made me feel bad about it. It made me feel like it was my fault, but it was not, because he's just an idiot flirting with an 8th grader. That's the tea, sis. Chester, we're friends, we're cool, but like this is how I felt at the time. Or that's how I felt later on. You get the point. No, you don't. So fast forward, and me and this girl, Alex, break up. And I'm just gonna say disclaimer, my mom knows everything I've done. I've gotten in trouble, blah, blah, blah. I'm like a good kid now. I like work and go to school because I'm like self-sufficient or whatever. So once we broke up, I texted Chester and I was like, Chester, I'm sad, like blah, blah, blah. Chester was like, I'm pulling up. So he pulls up with this friend, and he has this big bottle of Fireball. And I'm like, bet. Like, I just dumped this girl, but I'm the sad one. Like, Fireball sounds good. So we're drinking this Fireball, and I basically drink like the majority of the bottle, and not to toot my own horn, but let's just say I was pretty drunk. And they said, you know, usually we would put you in the back of the trunk and drive you around in circles, but in this case, because I like you, I'm not gonna do that. And I was like, well, thanks to the homie Chester. So yeah, that's how that went. So fast forward, I decided that I liked 2 people. One of them was Chester. The other person was, I'm totally exposing myself right now, but it was my best friend that I have right now. So my best friend that I have as of right now, I had the biggest crush on her, but I was like, you know, females, not the move. So I was like, Chester, what's up? And it's been about like probably 2 weeks since me and this other girl broke up. And I was like, Chester, do you want to hang out? And Chester was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And he was about 2.5 miles away, walked the whole 2.5 miles, which I guess I thought was like a sign of commitment. He was like committed to like coming to my house, even though he was like so far away. So dumb. Anyways, so he walks into my house, walks up in this bitch, and the first thing he does, he doesn't say hello to my mom. He doesn't even, nobody knows who he is. He literally goes behind the couch and lays behind there. And to this day, if I talk to him, he'll be like, well, I was tired. I walked 2 miles to see you. And I'll be like, you're dumb. So that's what he did, and right off the bat, my mom was like, I don't like that kid. You should not hang out with him. And then I ended up dating him for like 3 months, but like that's beside the point. We're not there yet. So yeah, we go to Taco Bell, and I have another friend with me, and then he leaves, and right off the bat, I'm like, frick, I like Chester. And this is like really groundbreaking news, because Chester was like bad news, and he really was, but we'll get into that. And so I was like, uh-oh, I like Chester. Like, this is not good. But I decided that I was just gonna like go for it and see how it goes, because I'm just that type of person. I like to ride the wave. I'm like a hippie or whatever. I believe I forgot this part. I left my phone at the Taco Bell, so Chester took my phone for me, and then we met up the next day. And I literally like went to Taco Bell. I texted him a million times, and then he finally answered me after I walked all the way back to Taco Bell just for him to be like, oh, I have your phone. Like, I guess at that time, like, morals were like not a thing, and I was just like, oh, he's like a bad boy. Like, he's sexy because he's like a bad boy, and he drinks and he smokes and he's like life of the party. Oh, and he was a high schooler, which is like big thing. Like, maybe that's not for you, but like in middle school, it's like if you're dating a high schooler, you're like God or something. I don't even know. Maybe if you were like trying to be cool or whatever, but that's how I was trying to be like when I was younger. Now I'm just like, this is who I am, deal with it. I don't really care. He also did street racing. I totally forgot to mention that, but he did street racing. But I remember I would like skip school to see him, and this was in the 8th grade, so I couldn't just like leave and like go to my house, if that makes sense. It was like, if you're gonna skip, then like you best just not show up to school, you know what I mean? Say that you're sick or something, because this is middle school. I know some people that would like actually sneak out of the school, but like low-key, if you go out the wrong exit, then it sends off a fire alarm, and it's so easy to get caught because the only door you can go out of is the one by the front office. So I would literally just not go to school and say I was like throwing up. It was kind of bad. So yeah, I would skip school, and he would skip school, and we would literally just hang out all day. And then the time came. The time came. The time freaking came! I hate you. Onyx, I hate you. It was time. He's licking his freaking balls on camera. Can you not? Can you not? Oh my god. Oh my god, he swallowed my hair. He swallowed my hair tie. I'm sorry, Onyx. I mean, not really. It was your fault because you wouldn't shut up. Your fault! Get out! Get out! We retrieved the hair tie. We retrieved it. Okay, all good. All good. All good. So it was about that time where I wanted to make, where we both wanted. Every time I start recording, you shut up! Quick intermission. So the night that we made it official, we went to a summit event. Basically, it's like, it's an all-night thing. You stay there until about 6 o'clock in the morning, and you go there at 12 or like 10 o'clock or something. And it's actually really fun. There's a bowling alley, there's a laser tag place, there's a whole arcade. It's actually really fun. Really fun and fresh, you know? That's where we decided to make it official. And I remember like we were in the bowling alley, and he would pick me up, and like, this is so funny, but the employee was literally running towards us, and my boyfriend at the time was just walking, and like she would be like this, running, and then he was just like I don't know, she was running really fast in her speed, and he was literally just walking, and like she couldn't beat him. But eventually he had to like put me down and stuff because we were gonna get in a lot of trouble. Plus, like, that night, we snuck into the laser tag place probably like 10 times. I don't even remember. It was a wild night. And I fell asleep on his lap, like all that cute stuff. And then he wakes me up and says, I need to ask you something. Guys, this is the freaking part, right? And he wakes me up and he's like, will you go out with me? And I'm like, yeah! I cringed so hard. And he like literally carried me up to my door that night because I was like literally sleeping, because if anybody who knows me knows I'm like not a night owl. I will literally will go to sleep at 8 and wake up at 6. Like, I don't know, I can't stay up. It's impossible for me. So within 2 weeks, we fell in love. I do not like past me. So in about 2 weeks in the relationship, I realized that I had fallen in love with him. And on 4/20, I said I love you, and then he was like, well, I think I love her too. And then he said I love you too. It was like super anticlimactic. But yeah, so that's how that was. And let me tell you some red flags right off the bat that started happening when we were in a relationship. First off, he took my phone all the time. Once again, I have to say, we are both different people. Like, I'm sure he probably doesn't do this with his girlfriend now. We talk about, like, our boyfriends and girlfriends together. But he used to take my phone all the time, and I felt like I was so weak and, like, indisposable. Or, like, I was disposable. Because, like, he was just able to take my phone anytime, and there was no control. Like, I had no control over it because I wasn't strong enough to take my phone back. Another bad thing was the fact that he would always, like, joke around with me and be like, I'm breaking up with you, and then he'd be like, psycho, and he thought it was, like, the funniest thing ever, but, like, it really wasn't. And then another thing was he would tell me things that, like, weren't even true about sex. I remember he told me, this makes me laugh now, if you pee after sex, then you won't get pregnant. Just wait, it does not even stop there. Like, this kid was also a really, really heavy drinker. Like, oh my god, he drank all the time. I don't think I ever saw him sober during our relationship. There was, like, 3 different occasions where I did. And correct me if I'm wrong, Chester, but that's what I remember. One time he went to go drive to my house, and first of all, he drove to the wrong apartment. And second of all, the other time that he tried to drive to my house, he was really drunk and almost flipped the car on the way. And I was like, we'll just see each other some other day. Like, it's fine. When you fall out of love, memories fade, etc., etc. So, you know, I had to write a list just to tell you guys this. Another thing was his, like, boyfriend skills. They were the worst ever, beyond freaking belief. Okay, maybe they weren't, like, the worst, but, like, for the dramatics, I have to say that. So, yeah, they were really bad. I remember, like, we would literally just stay in the house all the time. I'd be like, don't you want to, like, go on a walk or something? And he'd be like, no, I just want to, like, oh my god, if I actually, like, could get monetized and, like, demonetized, this video would, like, right away off the bat just be, like, demonetized. So those are basically, like, the points that I, like, wrote down. There's probably more. Wow, I'm really calling them out, but it's probably more, honestly. So, I mean, of course there were things that I did wrong too, like, we both learned from our mistakes. Continuing. So, go back to the part where I said that he would be like, oh, like, we're breaking up or whatever. Well, one time, he was not joking, and he was like, oh, we're breaking up, we got in this huge argument, and then, essentially, one day, hi, I remember this so vividly because it was, like, probably, like, days before my first day of high school, freshman year, and his friend, we're gonna name him Jeff. Hi. I love you! Smaller machine. Get away from my caterpillar! You're ruining the video. I promise I don't abuse my dogs. What is it? Onyx, that's disgusting! I should just make a whole YouTube video of him barking and embarrassing me, because that is this whole entire video in its entirety. I hate him. So, I'm sorry, Jeff, he broke up with me through Jeff. Jeff was like, hey, remember that one time when Chester was, like, breaking up with you, or, like, joking? Well, he wasn't joking. I was like, oh. So I called, like, 1,000,000 times. I was like, I need answers, I need solutions. keep in mind, guys, I was 14. This was my first ever, like, actual boyfriend. Like, we don't even count, like, the whole, like, girlfriend before him. Well, maybe it should count because T, I'm not gonna say on here. He was the first ever real relationship, though, to be honest, because that other one lasted like 3 weeks, so. Playa! Okay. Basically, he dumped me, and I was, like, really upset, and I remember that night he was texting me saying some stuff like, "You'll always be mine," or like some cheesy shit, because like we couldn't think of anything better to say because we were like young and like stupid and unrealistic. So fast forward, me and Chester are still like talking and we still like love each other, but we're technically not in a relationship, but like we were, basically. Like, I wasn't talking to anybody else, he wasn't talking to anybody else, but he was making some poor choices, and I was just not having it. I remember saying, "Hey, like, will you go to this football game with me? Like, it's my first ever football game in high school." And it was, and so he was like, "Yeah, sure, like, I don't really like the insert high school football games, but I will go with you." And then he was like, "Just know that I'll probably be on, like, well, drugs." And I was like, "Not on my watch." And little did I realize I'm stupid as hell. So basically, fast forward, and it's the night of the football game, and he's not answering any of my text messages, any of my calls, so like, we drive up to his house because I'm like over it, and like my best friend's with me, and it's really embarrassing. I'm literally getting embarrassed by my own ex-boyfriend, question mark? So basically, I drove up to his house. I literally couldn't even find his house, and I started pouring my eyes out. I was so upset, and then I was like, well, frick this. Let's just go to the football game and have a good time. So we go to this football game, and my best friend at the time, which she know who she was, and she was not being really like the greatest friend to me, to be honest. I think we both know that, so I don't really think I'm like exposing her or anything. But like, I just remember that she was too caught up in this drama with some guy that like punched me a long time ago. Oh, I should make a story time about that because that is an interesting story. Anyways, so yeah, she's like trying to get this dude kicked out and stuff, and meanwhile I'm like literally sitting by myself at the stadium, and I ended up like running into this girl, like Kiki, and we were actually having a good time watching this football game, but I was still upset, not only because my best friend at the time was literally not even talking to me and we went to this thing together, but because like my boyfriend wasn't answering me. And when he finally answered me, I decided to just completely break it off, because first of all, we were going to different schools. Second of all, we lived 2.5 miles away at this time, because I ended up moving away from, because like I said, he walked 2.5 miles at the beginning of the story, so I actually moved by his previous high school, and then yeah, so we lived almost 3 miles away from each other, and he was just like a piece of shit at the time. Like, I'm not even gonna cap, did I just say cap? So yeah, I basically texted him and I was like, I can't do this anymore, like this isn't good for me or you, and I ended it, and then he got super mad at me and he blocked me. Has it been a whole day? Yes, it has been a whole day, because I ran out of storage, so love that. But basically after that, we were broken up, and then I figured I wanted to try to like ploy him back into the relationship. Again, we both made mistakes, so this was one of my biggest, by far, mistakes and embarrassments. But I missed my period, and I freaked out, and I was like, you know what if I'm pregnant? And so I guess it wasn't even really like a ploy to get him back. It was just like maybe I should tell him that I might be pregnant. So my friend texted him and I texted him off of her phone, acting like her, saying, hey, like, Sakura thinks she might be pregnant. And he said, I don't care. Which broke me to pieces, because I was like, wow, like, I fell in love with this guy. I dated him for about 3 or 4 months, and then he's literally just gonna be like, well, guess what, bitch? I don't care. Like, wow! Thank Thank you. So, but a lot of time went by, a lot of energy taken out of my freaking day came by, and I ended up unblocking. We ended up unblocking each other, and we started being friends again, and on and off. I like skip forward to where the real juicy details come in, and that is when we are like still in love with each other. This is probably like a few months or maybe almost a year after we broke up, and he lives in Florida at the time, and we're calling each other every single night, falling asleep on the phone together because we were like cute or whatever. And he sends me this thing in another language. So basically what we did is we would like send each other cute things in another language, and then we'd have to go into like Google Translate, or we would like try to see if we could understand it. And so this is what he sent me. Excuse the lighting. I mean, I think you guys already realized that like I'm really bad at recording myself, so yeah, we're gonna leave out as much as I need to because this is kind of bold. Joaquin, aka him, made a big mistake one day because his dumb friend had a crush on Rebecca, me, and Tristan got him really drunk and made him feel like a horrible boyfriend. So Joaquin broke up with this amazing girl. The next day he didn't even know what he did, and when he found out that, well, let's just leave that part of the story out. ... Okay. And before he went to Florida to live with insert part I can't put in the video, for a while he wanted to at least be friends with Rebecca, so he texted her, and now at least Joaquin can talk to her almost every day. And he's still sad inside, but he shouldn't show it because it won't change anything. But maybe he'll have a great opportunity, but if not, he can still be friends, and that's still amazing to him. The end. The dramatics. So that's essentially like after that text message, we would always send each other cute things like the gifs or whatever, and I would tell him when I was like going on dates with people. It was kind of weird, and I'd be like, I just want you to know that I'm going on a date with so and so, and regardless of like how you feel about that, I want you to do the same. I want you to move on. I want you to like, you know, be happy with your life. And that time comes around, and we eventually block each other again because we got in a fight, blah blah blah, and then we start talking again. Of course, like the night that I get a concussion, because I like fell on a kitchen floor and like went like this, boom, onto the freaking floor. It really sucks. I'm still not right from that. It's fine. But that actual night, he texted me and was like, hey, you know, I probably won't be able to talk to you because I'm grounded, and ever since that, we have been friends. So that is the story of Joaquin, or Chester, if you want to say Joaquin, because, you know, like the story or like the different language thing or whatever. I don't know, I don't care. So yeah, that's essentially what happened. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, well, sucks to suck, because it's gonna make it onto the internet anyways, and I like to embarrass myself, so yes! Cheers to embarrassing myself once again. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Just know, like, things that you can take from this. First of all, if there's a million red flags, you're not tripping. More than likely, it's true. And you should probably listen to your gut, because more than likely, you're probably right. Second of all, don't ever regret any decision that you make. I regretted dating this kid for probably like a year and a half, and then I realized that there's nothing I can do about it. I can't just go back in the past and like not date him over again. And honestly, I wouldn't go back in the past and take it back, because I learned a lot from my first relationship ever, and it was honestly helpful for me to see like the other side of him, I guess, because he always acts so hard and stuff, and so it was nice to see how he is when he's like not around his friends, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would say really get to know someone before you get into a whole relationship with them and like ruin the friendship, which honestly can't even relate, because we're actually friends right now, and we both are in really happy relationships now. He's with this girl in California. So yeah, that's the story of my first love. Have a good day.